Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horse.
Don't hesitate. It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow.
You can wear it when you're grown. Two went out together and one come back alone, and ain't nobody knocking at the door. And he won't need his boots no more, no more. Snow is falling on the tracks. Two walked out together and only one come back, and ain't nobody knocking at the door. And he won't make me cry no more, no more. I ain't gonna cry and moan. We walked out together and I come back alone, and ain't nobody knocking at the door. And he won't need his gun no more, no more. Ain't nobody needs to know how I pulled the trigger and he bled into the snow, and ain't nobody knocking at the door. So you don't need to fear no more, no more. You won't feel his hand again. Go and light the candles and draw the axe string in, 'cause that ain't no one knocking at the door. Ain't nobody knocking. Ain't nobody knocking. That ain't no one knocking at the door.
All right. The show is Horses Sing None of It. My name is Ralph Litwin. Our guest is Zoe Mulford, visiting us all the way from Great Britain.
Thank you, Ralph. Pleased to be here. It was a long swim.
Now that was an interesting twist on the old traditional murder ballad.
Well, I was teaching a class called Learning from the Masters, where we were taking songs that we knew were good, taking them apart, seeing how they worked, and what we could steal. And the presenter of this class said, do you have a song that you wrote like this that you can share with the students? And I said, so that was the result. And it used to have all the stuff I didn't need. It had a dog, it had a horse, and then I went back and listened to some of the actual murder ballads, and they just tell the story. So I figured, hey, just tell the story.
Beautiful. What are you going to give us next?
This is actually another angry woman song. I don't know. I seem to write a lot of these. This is called Just Before I Go. Just before I go, I'm gonna turn the thermostat on high. I'm not watering your plants, I hope that they all die, and I'm setting all the clocks an hour slow. I'll get the vacuum cleaner out and leave it in the hall. I'll turn the toilet paper so it hangs down by the wall. You're always on my case 'cause you want everything just so. Well, I'm putting a few things in order just before I go. Just before I go, I'm washing all of your white shirts with my red socks. I'll finish off the cornflakes and put back the empty box. And where I hid the remote, you'll never know. Gonna leave my lipstick on your favorite coffee cup. I'm loading the dishwasher with the forks all pointing up. Everything I do is wrong, you always tell me so. So I'm putting a few things in order just before I go. I just want myself back, I'm hardly taking anything. If you unscrew the sink trap, you can have back my wedding ring. Someone should have told you that you reap just what you sow. Now I'm putting a few things in order just before I go. Just before I go, I'll shut the cat inside your study just for kicks. I'm tuning your clock radio to Country 96, and I'll crank it up as loud as it'll go. I won't take out the trash, I'll leave the cupboards all ajar. As a final touch, I'll lock your keys inside your car. Now I've got a bus to catch, it's time for me to blow, but I'm putting a few things in order just before I go. Now I've got my suitcase packed, I'm putting on that dress you hate. I'm wearing my new cowboy boots, and man, they make my legs look great. I didn't really need...
Now, you don't have a British accent.
No, I don't. The question, where are you from, has become a very complex one these days. I often have trouble giving succinct answers to very simple questions. I go to the grocery store and they say paper or plastic, and I say, oh. But this one really has gotten a lot harder. So the short answer is, I was born in Portland, Oregon. I grew up in a small town near Philadelphia. I learned to play the guitar in North Carolina. I became a performing singer-songwriter in Washington, D.C., and now I live in Manchester, England. And I'm sure the story will get longer.
I'm glad to hear it.
The reason I moved to Manchester is my husband got a job there. And this is...
I take it you didn't put all his things in order before you left.
No, that relationship actually, or that song actually, I think saved my relationship, though he doesn't like me to say that. So I sang it for him, and he said, "Have I ever told you how perfect you are?" So this is a love song that I wrote for him. And kids, it's about the seashore. Everybody's sleeping now except for you and me. I don't even want to know what time it's gotta be. We could lie here talking till the milk trucks make their rounds. We could lie here listening to the earth spin round. We could lie here dreaming, so smug and satisfied, breathing like the ocean and smelling like low tide. Low tide, stay here beside me, lying entwined with the windows open wide. Low tide, sweeter than desire, sleeping like a fire when the flames have died. Low tide, low tide, spent and contented, easy to please just as long as you are by. You leave me salty as the swell, soft as caramel in July. Low tide, the tide goes out, there's nothing left to doubt, there's nothing left to guess. All of the questions have been answered, all of the answers were yes, yes, yes. Low tide, settle and sigh, dear, everything shines when the restlessness subsides. Like sea glass cast up with the spray, the edges smoothed away and simplified. Low tide, low tide, stay here beside me, lying entwined with the windows open wide. Low tide, sweeter than desire, sleeping like a fire when the flames have died. Low tide, low tide, low tide.
That is a really lovely love song.
Thank you.
I'm jealous of your husband.
He was the first one who hears all of this stuff.
Lucky man. We should let folks know how they can find out about your recordings and your touring schedule.
I have an email address, which is zoe@monkeyfist.com. I'd love to hear from you.
And your website
And
is
I do have a website.
www.zoemulford.com.
You got it.
Was a good guess. What are you going to give us?
I'm going to go into a weird tuning here. If the guitar players are curious, what this is CGD GCD. I learned it from a wonderful guitar player named Steve Boffman. He calls it the Orkney tuning. And the story I'm telling was actually given to me by my aunts. My mother's eldest sister wrote a letter in which she said, "Use the good dishes. Always use the good dishes." And I asked my mother's middle sister whether there was a story that went with this that I should know about. And as it turned out, there wasn't, so I got to make one up. It was one of 12 that were only used for guests, and it loves candlelight. It loves the morning sun, but it spent its days in darkness in a big oak chest, waiting for white linen and the silver and the wine. On a table set for angels it would shine. And she said, glasses may break if you use them every day. You must keep them safe, they're like hearts that way. Mostly you can get along with less. Wait for special times to use the best. This crystal glass was given to my mother as a legacy. It was one of 10 from my grandmother's estate, and it loves candlelight. It loves the morning sun, but it spent years marked fragile in a packing crate, till my mother rediscovered it in 1989. She held it to the light to see it shine. And she said, glasses may break if you use them every day. You can keep them safe, but what good are they if they just stay shut up in some chest? Why wait to use the very best? So here's a toast to lovely things. Hear the crystals speak as it clicks against my rings, and see the facets shine. Makes water taste like wine. Clink the glasses and they sing. This crystal glass was broken on a clumsy Monday morning. It was one of 4 that my mother gave to me, and it loved candlelight. It loved the morning sun, and I'm sad to see it go, but I still have 3. So I will pour some orange juice and drink to precious things. Shake the broken pieces and they sing. And they say glasses may break if you use them every day. That's the risk you take. They're like hearts that way. And every day we'll put them to the test. But every day deserves the very best.
Beautiful. How did you first get into being a songwriter?
I started writing songs at the same age everybody starts writing songs, when I was yay high, and it's just that nobody ever stopped me. I'd like to do one that I wrote when I was living in Washington, D.C. Because I was living in Washington, D.C., and my family, or some of my family, was living near Philadelphia, I was driving back and forth on the same stretch of Interstate 95 a good deal. And if you drive north on Interstate 95, just before you hit the Maryland-Delaware border, you pass a statue called Our Lady of the Highways. I first saw her when I was about 10 years old from the passenger seat, and I cracked up. I thought it was just so funny. And then I grew up and started driving, and I found out that Our Lady of the Highways was put up by the Oblates of St. Francis de Sales to commemorate the site of a 19-car pileup. And so she's this sort of guardian. I'm told that she's very special to truck drivers, and she's also very special to me. Traveling as a musician means a lot of driving in unfamiliar places in the dark, and it's good to feel that somebody is looking out for you. This song is on my new CD, Roadside Saints. Thank God for the radio and convenience store coffee. 3 hours you've been on the road and it should have been done. Northbound to Delaware, you'll pass the temple where Our Lady of the Highway stands looking on. Blessed be the children and the strangers. We are all together, we are all alone. All the sleepless dreamers, all the restless angels. Bless all the wanderers far away from home. Red lights in the passing lane, hundreds of pilgrims, all your fellow travelers, you don't know their names. Some come through here every day, some have come from a long, long way. Our Lady of the Highways loves them all the same. Blessed be the children and the strangers. We are all together, we are all alone. All the sleepless dreamers, all the restless angels. Bless all the wanderers far away from home. White rag on the driver's door, glass on the shoulder. The ditches and the medians blossom with shrines, fake flowers and a wooden cross, and the names of the ones we've lost. Our Lady of the Highways knows they're yours and mine. Blessed be the children and the strangers. We are all together, we are all alone. All the sleepless dreamers, all the restless angels. Bless all the wanderers far away from home. Hear the swish of the wiper blades, rain on the windshields. Passing exit 100A to the town of rising sun. Black sky fading into blue, clouds shift and the sun peeks through. Our Lady of the Highways welcomes every dawn. Blessed be the children and the strangers. We are all together, we are all alone. All the sleepless dreamers, all the restless angels. Bless all the wanderers far away from home, and blessed be the children and the strangers. We are all together, we are all alone. All the sleepless dreamers, all the restless angels. Bless all the wanderers far away from home.
Beautiful. We have a little bit of time left. We can plug your website one more time,
That's-
www.zoemulford.com. And if you have a little tune to give us.
Yeah, I think I'll get the banjo out again.
Thank you for being a guest on Horses Sing None of It. It's been lovely to hear your songs up close.
Thank you so much for having me, Ralph.
Our pleasure.
I do a lot of writing while doing tedious manual tasks. This one was written while folding laundry. There's one piece of wisdom that sticks in my head. I heard it someplace, or it's something I read about someone or other whose grandmother said, life is too short to fold underwear. Life is too short to fold underwear. Life is too short to play solitaire. Get off your duff, it's time to begin. There's good deeds to do and there's sins to be sinned, and there's not enough time to fit it all in. Life is too short to fold underwear. Life is too short to eat processed cheese, or mealy tomatoes, or third-rate Chinese, or to live someplace dismal without any trees. And life is too